Hi, Kindies. I have another story here for you today. It is Art and Max, not our Max. This story is one of my favorites for two reasons. One, because I love the illustrations. David Weisner is the author. He made the words and he also drew the pictures, and they're just fabulous. And he makes some really beautiful wordless books. You know how I told you I was going to read one of those to you one day, and I'd like to, but it's kind of hard to do over the internet. So this one has very few words, but just enjoy the pictures because they're wonderful. And I also love this book because of its message. And the message you'll see is about art. It's about art. Art is one of the characters' names in the story. This guy, he's a, oh gosh, what do you call it? A monster. Not a Gila monster, a bearded dragon. That's what he is, a bearded dragon. This is just a lizard. And he, Art stands for Arthur. It's a nickname. And anyway, you know how sometimes Misty and I talk to you about how to make a picture and how there's certain shapes that we use, and we try really hard to make our pictures look like what they really are. And we try and use a lot of details so that you can tell the person who's looking at your picture what is going on, right? And we add background. And so that's a type of art, and it is totally creative. But there's another kind of art that's more free form and isn't about being realistic. And sometimes it happens when we make a mistake when we're drawing something, right? And we go, oh, that's not really what I had in mind. And then we think, how am I going to solve this problem? Because it's kind of a problem. What can I do? What can I create to make this problem actually part of my drawing? And that's where you get creative. And you'll see in this story those two kinds of art forms. So, you ready? Here we go. Oh, goodness. Let's see. I think I'm going to have to scooch this way. All right. Get situated here so that you can see these wonderful pictures. There we go. Okay. I'm going to pull down the shade a little bit. See if that helps. Yeah, I think that's better. All right, so can you tell where this story takes place? Oof, gotta go more. Can you tell where this story takes place? Would you say it is the jungle or the desert? Yeah, the desert, right? Okay. This is really there. Is that better? Gosh, now I'm I'm completely in the dark. Kindergartners, this is very strange. I hope that you're bearing with me here while I figure this out. Goodness, I think I'm going to go turn on the light. Hold your horses. Okay, let's see. There we go. Much better. Okay. Here we go. Here's a picture of Art. That's the bearded dragon, and Max. And he's running over to this portrait that is being painted. I think it must be by Arthur because he's the one who's holding the paintbrush, or was holding the paintbrush. And here is the lizard that he's painting, right? And Arthur says, "Careful, Max." And Max says, "Hey, Art, that's great." Giving him a compliment on his artwork. He says, "The name is Arthur." "I can paint too, Arthur," says Max. "You, Max? Don't be ridiculous." And that kind of dumps his bucket, hanging his head. And you know, sometimes we say things we don't mean, or we make a mistake, and then we fix it, right? And so Arthur says, he realizes his mistake. He says, "Oh, all right." And he lets him paint. And he's so excited. He sets up his easel against the cactus. And he says, Arthur says, "Just don't get in my way." Well, do you think that's going to work? Max stands there, blank. Do you ever feel that way sometimes, where you get all your supplies and then you go, now what? Now what do I draw? So he's having a, like writer's block, but a painter's block, right? And so he taps Arthur on the back. "Arthur, what should I paint?" And Arthur takes this seriously. "Well, you could paint me." "You? Really?" he says. He's very excited about that. So, look what he does. "What are you doing?" yells Arthur. And Max says, "I'm painting you." Literally, right? Oh dear. "Ta-da! What do you think?" says Max. "This is preposterous." "Oh, turn around. I missed a spot," says Max. And then Arthur yells, "Max!" Oh, he is enraged. He is very angry. He's so angry, he shakes all the paint off, like a dog coming out of the bathtub or pool or ocean, right? And it splatters everywhere. And Arthur says, "Wow." Max says, "Wow." And Arthur says, "Oh, Max, what have you done?" He says, "Oh my gosh, what has happened to me?" And he's hung over. He just doesn't even know what to think. And Max has an idea. He has a plan. This is where he's getting creative. "Oh, gonna fix this problem." And he comes back bringing a gigantic fan. Which is kind of ridiculous also, because they're in the desert. Where is he going to plug it in? But writers get to do these kind of things. Don't even always need to explain everything. He blows all the paint off. And then Arthur says, "I feel strange." And Max says, "Have a drink of water." So glug, glug, glug. He drinks it. "I'll get more," says Max. He runs away. And when he comes back, he's brought 2 more buckets of water. Can't tell if he's poured them on top of Arthur or if Arthur drank them all. But in either case, all of the color drained out of Arthur. Max likes it. "Ooh," he says. Hold on, Art. He's about to storm off. He's not enjoying this. And Arthur says, it's Arthur. Don't go, says Max. And he does. And he holds on to him. And as he's running, trying to run away, he comes unraveled. Oh, dear. Things seem to be getting worse. And sometimes that happens, right? You're trying to fix a problem and sometimes it gets worse before it gets better. Oh, Max says, Arthur? All he's got is one long line. Squiggles, some curved, some straight. Oh boy. He's not sure what to do with it. But he doesn't panic. He says to himself, aha, he found the end. And he gets started. Okay, here goes. And he gets to recreating Arthur. Starting with these jagged lines. He thinks, as he steps back, more detail, I think. What do you think? More detail? Doesn't resemble Arthur too much yet, does it? And he keeps going. Yes, pointy lines like this. And, ooh, that's starting to look more like him. Oh, wow, look at that. Look at that side of his face versus that one. Lots of detail there. How's that? Says Max to Arthur. Acceptable, I suppose. But don't forget my foot. Can you see? His foot looks kind of cartoony because Max hasn't added the details of his toes yet. Those details really matter, huh? When you're trying to recreate something realistically. Come back here. You're not finished, Arthur says. And he's going on to do something else. Max has always got something creative lined up. He's sucking up something in this vacuum. And I don't know what he's saying here. Let's see. Now what? Says Arthur. And Max says, just hold still. Whoa. I don't know how his vacuum works, but I would be upset if mine did this. It sends everything it sucked in back out and splatters all over Arthur. And look at the effect. Ooh. Arthur says, fascinating. He loves it. And Max says, yes, yay! He's glad that he likes it. Well, he probably would have had another solution if he didn't. Let's paint some more, says Max. And Arthur says, all right, Max, let's get started. And he holds the paintbrush and he's thinking. He's kind of thinking like, what am I going to draw? What am I going to do? And look at that. Arthur is inspired by Max, and he's loosened up a little bit and is trying out this splattering paint. He's not even using a canvas. He's painting directly on the cactus. Isn't that cool? And then Max is inspired by Arthur and kind of trying out his painting style. pretty cool. Lots of ways to be creative, right? And we can always get ideas from our friends. So I hope you enjoyed that story, and I still miss you, and I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you really soon, hopefully on Zoom.